welcome to Paris. I don't know whether to wish you an exciting time or a calm time. I think you'll have a bit of both, but I do hope you'll have a very productive time, and it's great to have you here. We at the International New York Times are enormously happy to be associated with this event for many, many reasons. And personally, the main one for me is that I think the art of debating, and I do think it's an art, is very close in what it tries to do to the craft of journalism. We studied from childhood, I was a reporter all my life, to be even-handed, to be fair, to see both sides of the story. This is now being attacked a bit on the internet, blogs. We are sometimes accused of being paralyzed by our even-handedness. We don't take a position. But on the other hand, I think this is the key element of Western journalism, to give people the full picture. And I think debating hones this ability to see both sides, to see what the other side thinks, to understand both sides of an issue. It's a critical faculty, and I think tomorrow we'll see it really in action, because as I understand, this is not the normal format for debate. Each team will make its own point while the next team throws tomatoes at them and in other ways tries to disrupt what they're doing. So it should be very exciting. Personally, I look forward to it very much. I am now no longer a reporter. For a while now, I've been on the opinion side of the business. I write editorials. And editorials at the New York Times, at the International New York Times, which are now one and the same, are actually decided upon by a committee, the editorial board. Another way to put that is that they're decided by the editor of the editorial board, who decides what our opinion is. But since we all agree, to some degree, we tend to say what we all believe. And yet, it so happens, and it happens a little too often, for my comfort, that I don't fully agree with the editorial I'm supposed to write. And this is a secret, this is off record, as this entire meeting is. But I say this because, in effect, what I do is what you do, what debaters do. I try to make the best case for a position which I may not fully share. And personally, I have found that this is when I produce my best editorials, when somewhere deep inside I am arguing with myself and have to convince myself. And that discipline, I think, is essential to what I do, and I think it's essential to what everybody does. And so organizing these debates and making them transatlantic, I think, is a wonderful thing. I have to say the subject, World War I, is also very, very timely, and not only because of the 100th anniversary. Personally, I had two grandfathers who fought in that thing. They were in the Russian Imperial Army. Both were lucky to be severely wounded or severely enough to be sent to the rear, which has made it possible for me to be here. But I have studied what they wrote, what they went through. I found all their regimental daily orders, and it was an incredible bloodbath, just incredible. I mean, in one grandfather's regiment, the officer corps was fully replaced 7 times through wounds and deaths. So it's important to remember that. It's important because, to some degree, I think over the years we've tended to push World War I to the background. World War II was our focus, the Cold War. But now in this very chaotic world, with all these passions and nationalisms and alliances and humiliations that are being dredged up, I think the world's beginning to look a little bit more like 100 years ago. And for that reason, it's very important to start looking at that war to see how it was handled and how it ended up. So I really look forward to this debate. I should note that my colleagues from the International Herald Tribune and New York Times have produced a wonderful exhibition. I hope you all do take a look at it. In those days, the paper, in fact, was the European edition of the New York Herald. And it was a major voice during that war, and we have some of the pictures from those days. Finally, those of you who have already bribed me, you want to know that this will make absolutely no difference. And as a rule, those of you who haven't yet put in your bribes will lose. And I wish you all the best of luck, and I really look forward to this. So thank you.